You see, I learned from the best. I learned how money operates, how to use it for my benefit, and what money actually is. I learned that from my father. And I didn't learn that from asking questions. I wasn't asking him how to make more money in life. I was doing all of this by observing. I've always been an observer my entire life. And I always ask questions. I've always been inquisitive. So my understanding came from him and watching how he operated and what his relationship was with money. And through my observing, I came to understand that in order to amass wealth, in order to become rich, in order to accumulate large sums of money, I would have to change my mindset. And see, your ability to accumulate wealth is going to be primarily due to the way you think, your mindset. And through my observing of him, though he had it, he always acted and lived his life as if he didn't have it. So he was never out buying the newest car, leasing the newest car, buying gold chains, buying, things that were unnecessary. He never was fascinated by material things. And so many of us get caught up in the material things, keeping up with the Joneses. I see somebody out there with a Mercedes. Now I got the itch and I want a Mercedes. And I may be able to afford it, even though most of us can't. Most of us go into debt trying to portray a lifestyle. But let's say I could afford it. Me seeing somebody else have it is enticing me to want to have it. And that's what social media has done to most of us. Most of these people on social media are portraying a life that they don't live, acting as if they own these things when they really rent these things. So you can't get caught up in what people are portraying, what people are, promoting in front of you. It's all propaganda. It's not real. It's false reality. And not to say that I never myself got caught up in buying things that I shouldn't have been buying. Man, I was a sneaker collector for 10 plus years, more like 15 years, buying shoe after shoe after shoe. Luckily for me, the shoes I was buying were more like investment because they were going up in value. But most people aren't buying things that go up in value or that appreciate. Most people are buying depreciating assets. You spending all that money on a lease for a vehicle you don't own. You don't have to have the 2024 Mercedes. Why not, go and get the 2016 Mercedes, buy it all in cash and you ain't got to worry about a lease. You don't have to worry about none of that. It's all how you treat money. What is your relationship like with money? Money is nothing but a vehicle. It allows you to obtain things. It's a medium of exchange. The more you have it, the more you can buy, the more you can purchase. So in order to accumulate more of that, we have to spend less. Even when we do have the funds to afford these things, we still have to spend less. Because people that accumulate mass amount of wealth, mass amount of money, they don't spend money like that. You wouldn't even know they're rich. Most of the people that are rich out here in these streets, you don't even know that they're rich. They look normal. They dress normal. Don't get caught up in Hollywood with the rappers. That's an image they have to portray. Rap has always been flamboyant, wearing the big chains, flexing all the dollar bills. Somebody who really has wealth does not do that, does not dress that way, does not make themselves a target. Their money is tied up in different assets. Jay-Z's a billionaire. He's not a billionaire because he's liquid, because he has $1 billion. No, it's tied up in assets. Some may be in real estate. Some may be in business endeavors. Some may be in material items like art, paintings. If you're going to spend money on material, let it be something that appreciates over time. Don't put money towards things that are depreciating. My pops always wanted a boat. And the one thing that held him back was how fast they depreciate. He struggles with spending money on things that depreciate in value. People that are wealthy, people that, have money, they understood money. Money is a science, but once you understand it, it makes it so much easier to accumulate more of it. They don't spend money on depreciating assets. They spend on appreciating assets. You're never losing when you put your money into something that appreciates over time. It's a vehicle. Money's a vehicle. Allow it to work for you. Allow it to work for you. Don't put it in things where it stagnates or it doesn't do anything for you. Because if you're putting it in things that stagnate it, then you're going to be left in a situation where you have to trade your time to make more of it. The plan, the goal is to be able to trade less of your time and accumulate more. I want to work less, but yet make more. How do I do that? I do that by putting it in vehicles that appreciate over time, vehicles that allow my money to work for me. Don't be a slave to money. Allow your money to be a slave to you. And to force your money to be a slave for you is going to require sacrifices. You're not going to be able to buy all the things that you want. But if you're so focused on the now, then how can you plan for the future? I sacrifice now to have all the things that I want in the future. People are living for today, and then in the future, they have nothing. So what are you willing to sacrifice to have what you want, to be able to do all the traveling that you want, to have the nice big house that you want? What are you willing to sacrifice? I'm willing to sacrifice momentary short-term happiness, short-term rush of dopamine. I'm willing to sacrifice that to have the future that I want for myself and for my children and for my children's children. What are you willing to sacrifice? So today may require you to live a little more frugal, to think more like a person who's less fortunate. That should always be your state of mind. My state of mind is always less fortunate. I don't have it. I may have money. If people ask me how much money you got, I say, I don't have it, man. I don't have nothing. I'm broke. I always said I'm broke. I ain't got it. They be asking, what you do for work? Yeah, I work with the government and I work with NASA. They're like, ain't no way you, bro. I'm like, yeah, I'm broke. I'm broke. It's a mental thing. It's a mentality. Because I'm willing to sacrifice now. I'm willing to look and feel somewhat less fortunate in order to achieve the things that I want down the road. But I didn't want to make this too long. I just wanted to get us to understand that in order to obtain wealth, in order to become rich, in order to set your family up, you're going to have to change your mentality. You're going to have to change the way that you think. And you're going to have to be willing to sacrifice today to get what you want in the future. Don't live so much for today in the quick rush of dopamine. It's going to flee so fast. That rush of dopamine is going to flee fast. It's going to be here one moment and gone the next. I'd rather set myself up down the future where I can kick it and relax the rest of my life. I don't need to have the best time of my life right now. This is the time for me to hustle. This is the time for me to grind. This is time for me to make something of myself. But you got to love that, man. You got to love the hustle. You got to love the grind. So many people are 25, 30, already wanting to retire. I don't. I got so much that I want to do, so much that I want to accomplish. I'll sleep when I'm dead. If I'm breathing, I'm working on my passions. I'm working on my projects that I'm trying to build to set me up later down the road. What are you working on? How are you spending your time? But I'm done lecturing. I ain't yelling at y'all. I'm just that friend that never kept it real with you. That friend that everybody needs. That's who I am. Just keeping it real with y'all. But I thank y'all for checking out this video. And I have more content on the way per usual. I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm out.